A crazy revenue model, basically the goal is support micro, small, and mid enterprises in Asia to explore additional potential revenue stream, which is extremely important in time like this, COVID-19, and the behavior of the consumer and the businesses change, work from home, and all that. So why we call it crazy revenue model is because either it's still new, or existing revenue model but not proven yet, or simply crazy that we all cannot accept it. So today this session is simply just to talk about it and see the viability of it, just explore and brainstorm about it. So one of the revenue model we look at today is called lifestyle private residence for young working adult. What it means, these young working adult, their customer profile is this: they are about early 20s to early 30s, so we call them millennials. They are lower of the mid-income group, and they need to work from office and home now, thanks to COVID-19 and the challenges. And they love their privacy, and they need safe environment like zero robbery, theft problem at their housing area, and viral infection control is up to the requirement of the market norm. And they also, and the people that enjoy online entertainment and online games, and occasionally prefer home delivery of product and services. I observe the young people, they actually more than 90% home delivery of food instead of going out, and really not going out sometimes. It's already happening. And they prefer environmental friendly living. They love their planet Earth, and they prefer electric car if, let's say, they have a choice. So, but these are group people also have the challenge. They don't have enough money. They're still young, so they don't have enough saving, if they ever have enough saving. Limited initial payment capability, but they're willing to commit to a long-term monthly payment to own property or lifestyle living environment like that. So as a developer or as a main contractor, how you can capitalize on this potential opportunity? One of the model we look at is called lifestyle private residence for young working adults. And you convert, the main idea here is that the initial capital or the initial payment you collect from the customer will be much lesser, but you convert the whole income revenue model to be a lifetime permanent revenue model. So after you have enough property that you manage, you no longer need to create or to build more property to get good income. It's like you tap into the ecosystem of your client. So what it means, like for example, home delivery. Home delivery, now you have Grab Food, you have there are a few others. So work with them. So share, like if you sell to my community, you sell the product to my client, you can you have to pay me some percentage of your revenue. So go into revenue model. And in some country, the home utility like internet, also like the electricity is already privatized. So can you work with them to say, okay, if I promote your utility, then I will have a revenue share of your services. And of course, in some condition is that if, let's say, you're going to allow to switch different service provider, the last mile and all that, you might need to own it yourself if no longer sponsored by them. So is your local regulator allowed for that? That you have to verify. And the other one to look into is like more straightforward. A lot of people that these are young people, you ask them to do a house job, clean the house, mop the floor, will it happen? And now they have living on themselves, they're on their own, probably they need a part-time housemate. And how about maintenance and repair? Do they know how to repair? Or they actually need to call someone and just get it done with? And they love to have some comfortable environment. They want interior design and renovation. Can developer take it up and say, okay, this is under the agreement, the time when you purchase this property, you already committed to lifestyle a package. That means I will reduce the price to you for your initial payment, but every monthly payment, these are the product that you have to buy from me to a certain extent. That I do have control because of this arrangement. And then the property owner or the property developer also now probably also is managing the whole property. So they also able to partners with some product or some merchant to promote some latest promotion for their residents. Or they can even offer something like safety feature, like motion detection, facial recognition, or only the tenants of certain floor can access to their floor and or some area, the rest cannot have access to. So you can even build the whole thing into it, and actually you can use a paid program or can freemium program or can be limited use program. Like some you allow you to only access and do it for 3 times a month. Then after that, anything more than that, you do need to buy the package. And today, all these safety feature, all that is very advanced, and the cost also is quite low. Like facial recognition, last time we used to hear it's very, very pricey. Now it's actually dropped below a few thousand $. You can get one already, and even can have a data analytic behind running. And how about security or safety, like illness? Will you able to detect the illness, like how people buy antivirus for their computer? Now they have to buy antivirus for themselves. So the building actually able to catch them actively when there's potential abnormality, like change of temperature, change of the color of the eyes. Immediately, the message we send to them, potentially you do need to see a consult a doctor or arrange a physician to meet you up. And how about the car park? Can we say some of the car park is only for sales, but the rest actually is for rental or for day rate or for hourly rate? Or if you rent a place that you pay higher, then your parking lot is nearer to your lift. If you pay a lower rate, which you can, but then you have to walk further because the parking lot will be further apart. And then for visitor, you have to pay already. So you'll be charged on hourly rate and so on. Then if let's say there's an electric car, then power charging is needed. So now you become even provide energy to charge up the vehicles for the tenants. And how about empower them to do business, because they have a home office, but then they do not want just to meet up visitor like that at their home. They might want to visit at the common area, but visitor lounge or meeting lounge. Then you set aside like different theme, different architecture, different utility, and you have a different rate. So then it's another side income. So basically what you do is that you reduce the initial payment of the property, so that allow this young working adult to come in, and then the team is along targeting for the particular market segment. That means what they love most. Just now, all the profile can be changed from one geographical area to another geographical area. So it changed accordingly. So then the community is basically, these are the people love and they want the kind of services. And then the property developer convert themselves from mass market player, they go into niche player. And then instead of CapEx model, they move the whole thing into CapEx, like CapEx, but eventually OpEx. And the income become a permanent as long as the property is still with them. So yeah, this is just a crazy idea that ACMF thought that you might want to take a look. Yeah, feel free to, I will open this to panelists and also fellow speakers and also a participant to ask question. If you, in case you have any question or anything you want me to clarify, yeah, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Louis. Yihao here.
Yeah.
Just my view. By looking at this, actually, I see they are the trending right now, to be honest. By looking at the trend, the pandemic, the trending, the directions are leading to. At the same time, our next generation lifestyle, they are emphasized more on convenient, right? Convenient is a lifestyle, right? And then everything must be convenient and easy to access. With that approach, I think they will be possibly as a trend. I do agree with you. There's some direction heading to that. So with that, they really added to the, especially the property developer, or perhaps they are the chain behind the scene. So what they are looking at, perhaps they may also venture out While this idea, while we talk about the entire ecosystem flow, right, they also can venture out. Can we convert this like another source of income for them, like create another platform businesses on top of what the traditional business they have? For example, the traditional business actually is a of the building on the commercial environment. Then instead of lessor, at the same time, you can convert them become a platform services so that they can also taking care not only for consumer in this group. At the same time, behind the scene, all the supplier you can manage as a platform as well, right? For example, just now the plumber, yeah, all the remunerator, ID, right? All these company at the same time, those are the convenience store would like to rent with consignment on the respective area or this area, perhaps they want to do business with that.
Yeah.
So all in all, the way I see it, it could be another source of good income to the developer.
Yeah.
And actually, I foresee this will be win-win-win situation. Win for the consumer, win for the developer, and win from the perhaps from the government as well, because they can take more tax for that. That's my
yeah. Actually, I like the idea, and the other area I see that actually the in this architecture, let's say it's already very high demand by the market. I will foresee the current incumbent, that means the market leader today, will suffer, because normally by nature, larger player, they are listed company, they are under a lot of investment mandate, they cannot just change like that. They do have to honor their mandate, and their mandate probably still left many years to finish. So this opportunity, they may not able to take it even though they love it. So the smaller developer will be the one usually they can take it up, because they can quickly look at the opportunity. Hey, this opportunity now, that I quickly launch the product and sign up the client before everybody come in. So I foresee this, if let's say this works, it will be the first mover advantage. That means whoever taken the down payment and sign and deposit of the potential client win. Because after you buy a house, I don't think the guy will buy another house again, even though it's a much better promotion later.
Louis Ginhai here, ACMF Capital. So I like the idea. I think it's very interesting. It's very similar in a way, concept-wise, to the smartphone concept.
How's that?
In the sense of, when the smartphones were invented, they actually didn't bring anything really very new. Because before that, people also have calculator, also have alarm clock, also have phone, also have cameras, all this type of thing. They have, but it's all combined into one. And this concept actually is, all the things mentioned are being done in separate ways right now. For example, we talk about the access and all that, like I think it's called Jaga app or something like that. They have that, and they use that actually to sell things to the residents as well. And then if you talk about the service and all that, the cleaning and all that, service apartments also have that. And then if you talk about kind of the themes, and certain high-end residences also have that. In fact, you can stay in a themed hotel and just keep paying exactly what you said without paying a down payment, and you can stay there for long term. But nobody has actually put everything together and make it convenient.
And affordable in this case.
The hassle nowadays. One of the hassle nowadays is you have to download this app to do this. You have to download that app to do this. So end up your smartphone with like 256 gig memory also not enough, because you have like 2,000 apps on there. And so if you have like one app done through the community of living that you're in, and then that can do everything for you, that actually would, I think, be very appealing for some people. So I think it's a quite a novel idea.
It's actually very interesting to talk about the smartphone, because that day I watched a video clip about evolution of smartphone, but it rolled back instead of a roll forward. So he said, okay, this is the device of a smartphone, but then like 10 years later, you have 5 devices. Then like another 10 years later, 10 years ago, it's like 10 devices to do everything. And then like 20 years ago, then even more devices. Eventually they fill up the whole table with all the devices. It's like, if that's the smartphone today perform, if you're going to go back many years ago, decades ago, this is all the devices you need to do the job of one smartphone. So it's interesting that you equate that. I never thought about that. Yes. So, anyone? Feel free. Sorry.
So I guess just to add on to that thought then is, what actually is the necessity of having people to make a big down payment, and then after that, then only they can start paying smaller payments? It's just convention, isn't it? Nothing else. Because in like, I think US and all that, they have higher purchase agreements, even actually industrial equipment, all that, we have leasing agreements, which they are like basically lease to own, right? They split the whole cost of it, somebody finances it, and then they just pay the whole installment until finish. So that having to pay that 10%, 20%, 30% upfront thing is just a convention carried over from years ago.
Actually, I need to clarify that it's not about the reduced. Actually, it's they already reduced the price of the property. Instead of let's say it's X dollar, they actually probably sell it at probably 30-40% discount. So how they fill up the gap of the 30-40% discount is through the month-to-month expenses income. So that's why it's no longer a capex initial income model. It go into the perpetual income model. So that financial calculation have to be done quite carefully. And then will the law allow such a provision? Will the regulatory system say it's an anti-monopoly, it's an anti-competition situation? Then as a result, it cannot be enforced. Then the money, they wouldn't be able to take back the money. That's the risk they might have to consider.
Yeah, I guess in a way the revenue model then is like a hotel or service apartment model, but hybrid, whereby it is at the end is maybe perhaps lease to own or something like that. Yeah. So with that kind of model, actually you take away the barrier of needing that large down payment, which is one of the biggest barriers now for house owners. That like their salary, they can afford to pay the installment, but they can't save up enough to come up with the down payment. Yeah. So if you take it to the extreme and only have it like without a down payment at all, but start straight away from the monthly payments, then that potentially removes the barrier of entry for many people. Yeah.
And
just a thought.
Thanks again. Thanks again. That day, I think one of the colleagues mentioned that for some of the model like that, you actually can even do a first right refusal among the tenants. That means if let's say it's the services that you don't offer, then you allow the tenants to do a barter trade or do some community business. That means the tenants will have the first right refusal when come to offer services back to the residents.
Yeah, Lewis, I think I've mentioned that. It was a friend of mine in the UK. He's an artist, and he lives in a really nice little kind of muse where there are quite a few artists and sculptors and a guy who does a lot of woodworking and kind of more kind of physical things. And it's a really nice little ecosystem that they've got, even though there's not that many people there. So when you think of how they can all work nicely together and support each other, imagine then if you've got a condo that's say got 1,000 units in it, you know, you've basically got a small city there. So the chances that you'll have an electrician, a plumber, you know, a computer guy, or whatever, to support everybody within that condo, it's quite possible that you could have enough business where you don't need to go outside. So things like COVID impact you a lot less because you don't actually have to travel that far. And so we can have this nice little ecosystem.
Yeah, and giving the possibility that COVID-19 is it the last one? I think it's may not, because once the evolution of life is this: once they get into new function, usually they won't roll back. They just go intense. So now COVID-19 is, I think it's already proven airborne. Means what's the impact? Is someone a patient or someone ill got this problem in the room, and then after the person left the room, basically within 20 minutes you go in, you still get the viral. That bad.
Yeah, well, this is it. I mean, if we've got at least 12 months, if not many years worth of modified behavior to go. So that's just with COVID-19. If there's COVID 20, 21, 22, then this could be very different. But I think going back to what Yinhai said, a lot of things that we do now seem to be just because that's the way it's always been done. It's not necessarily the best way to do things anymore. So I think a lot of business is learning that you can work from home quite effectively. You know, just because you can't see someone doesn't mean they're not working. You know, people still want to earn money. People still feel the responsibility of getting their job done. In fact, often they work harder if they're at home because they value they value the fact that they don't have to get stuck in traffic every day and pay for parking and do all these other things that make their life worse.
Yeah, quite a consistent feedback that I received from friends that actually working from home, they end up working 10-20% more. Even at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., they still have to work. Because now you cannot say, okay, I'm home, I have to go home, so bye, I see you tomorrow.
That is the downside. I used to work from home when I was in the UK, and there were more than one occasions where you'd have to work all night because you didn't have the excuse that you needed to go home because you were already there. So that can be the other side of the sword.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Anyone want to ask anything? Or I read there's a question about the affordability. Yeah, the affordability is always an issue. Yes.
Sorry, can I share something regarding the smartphone things?
Yes,
it's really interesting actually. Can you?
Yeah, feel free to go ahead, please.
No. Can you bring down your screen first? I want to share something.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, please go ahead. Yes.
I think this is interesting.
Oh yeah. All right. Yes.
This happened on 2013. Me and my friends actually have this idea.
Oh, so you guys done something about this?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Oh, so you guys put the devices together to compare to one iPhone, the power of one iPhone versus the old devices. Yeah.
Luckily, we still have the Polaroid, the ABTS, the phone, and the Walkman at the time.
And you look at the investment, the time, like the Palm, and then all this recording, and then it's a lot more expensive than just one iPhone actually.
Yes, correct. Okay.
Thanks for the sharing. Thanks for the sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, is from the Mr. Louis. Yeah, they don't have much purchasing power, or can they honor what they have committed? So that is a challenge actually. So we will let the developer have fun with that. Anyway, this is a crazy revenue model. We think it's something worth talking about. So take it on and let us know how it works out. And then if you need to do any brainstorming, please feel free to reach out to us. Yeah. So let me share the screen on this one. Okay. Okay, we do have a disclaimer. The lawyer asked us to do it. We have not done a 100% survey triangulation or the facts cover in the sharing, therefore error is potential. We have not validated the facts cover in the sharing with the local aggregator and licensing requirement of all countries, therefore error is potential. The sharing is not recommendation for financial decision making. Please check with your advisor, coach, consultant, local regulator, and or qualified personnel to support your decision making. We would like to bring you a saying like a company is like a boat that keeps sinking because of its fixed expenses, and sales revenue is the main reason to keep it afloat. So COVID-19 and financial crisis, it created a new world. Actually, it keep consistently repeated by many people that this is a new world, that floating mechanism like this from the past no longer useful. So there's a lot of uncertainty and how to continue business. So time like this will cause even a great market leaders like Nokia that time, Kodak that time, Blockbuster that time to fail, and then replaced by successful companies such as Apple, Canon, and Netflix. So we do have a business transformation solution to support micro, small, and mid-sized enterprises in Asia to develop and grow new revenue stream quickly. The investment could be very affordable, less than $1,000 US. So feel free to contact us at ABTS, Asia Business Talk Show at acmfgroup.com.